Have you ever felt like you had to tiptoe around worldviews because you might be judged for not being politically correct? If you are worried about not being politically correct, here's how to fix it. Hey, it's Todd Nanner, and welcome to another webcast from LifeQuest Institute, your guide to the new earth. Here is a little background information for today's episode. As we know, the shift in consciousness is accelerating. What this means is being responsible and accountable for the life we want to create, as well as the life we want to envision for the future. The shift is not all love and light, like we would like it to be. That would be ignorant as well as arrogant to believe that. There is work to be done to co-create the new earth in a healthy way. The operative word here is co-create, which requires leaders, and we can all be leaders. If we continue on the path we are on now, we will always get what we always have gotten. That's probably not what you wanted to hear, but we all need to step up for true change to happen. So let's jump right into it, Anna. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right.
As usual. Happy to be here. Ready. Great conversation. PC, politically correct.
Right.
And we need a what first?
Definition. Yes. PC.
Okay. PC. Oh,
yes.
Okay. Okay. So the definition of being politically correct is avoiding language or behavior that could be found to be offensive, especially to particular groups of individuals and or people, of course.
Snowflakes.
Easy.
I'm kidding.
You got any more?
No.
Okay.
I just can't do my mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so being aware not to offend or upset, that was offensive, to the group or people in society, especially those with a disadvantage or those who have been treated differently because of sex, because of race, or because of some kind of disability. So we got to kind of like be a little bit aware that.
Right. So examples of being politically correct would be no longer saying handicapped and disabled are no longer appropriate. Now we have to say they are challenged.
Okay, gotta stop there because it's kind of like, why? What's wrong with handicap? What's wrong with disabled? And saying challenge, it's like, I guess it softens it up, but
Correct.
But I don't know.
Right. Who's making the rules?
Yeah.
Right. So another one would be gender neutral job titles, from policeman to police officer, from postman to letter carrier, from what do we got? Chairman to chairperson. Another would be mankind to humankind.
Yeah, I've never heard that. I've never heard of humankind. I've heard of mankind, but I've never heard anybody go, oh, let me change that out for humankind.
Right.
Okay, so politically correctness is starting to be a problem. You know, people are not as comfortable with saying what they really feel. It's a threat to that free speech. Frowned upon, deemed insensitive, racist, sexist. Intimidation is used so that you will kind of fall into a place of codependency.
Correct.
Walking on eggshells, you'll hesitate, you can't be yourself. Take a moment and think of the children. What do they learn? It begins as early as 3 years old for a child to realize that wasn't nice, that wasn't appropriate.
Right.
And so what do they learn? What do they feel? They take these senses and feelings of, oh, I shouldn't say this, I shouldn't say that. And they're 10 now, and now they're 20, and now they're 25, and now they're 42. And we take all of this into our adult lives, and we can't really ever have a genuine conversation. I mean, we'll talk to you more about that, how we can get more genuine.
Yeah, it stifles them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's hard to let go of the worldview that has so much authority on our lives. What is the result of walking the PC tightrope? What it does, it will condition us to believe we may be insulting or have been insulted, whether intended or unintended. And we always talk about stimulus response. You should never be insulted by another human being or an individual. Whatever they say to you, that's their problem. That's their belief on you. Your response to that is your choice. Yeah. So you have stimulus response and you have choice in the middle. It also tugs on emotions with matching anger responses. It promotes feelings of being a victim or attacked.
Yeah, I think we begin to say that hurt my feelings. So we're and no, and nothing anyone can say to you is anything having to do with you at 110%. What somebody is saying to you, like if you were angry and saying things to me, it'll be more of a belief, kind of getting out of the 3D of it and going to the 4D of it and realizing he's either having a bad day or this is something that's important to him. And he looks like he's yelling and screaming, possibly whoever it is, friend,
Right.
family, foe, neighbor. It doesn't matter. It's not about you, but we take it as such because we don't understand the bigger picture of fourth dimension. So think of any group or an organization that you belong to. Typically, a culture or group-minded mindset is kind of entrenched, and we quickly learn how to act and think as that group thinks in order to be accepted, because we don't want to, cross the lines, and we want to kind of tiptoe, and there's that tiptoe thing again. So has being politically correct gone too far? Can we ever be genuine? What about the difference between the ability to be polite
Respectful.
and being politically correct?
Right.
All right. So this is part of what we want to get at is the balance of being polite and being politically correct. So certain behavior and words are considered appropriate. That would be polite. Or inappropriate, impolite. We could say the same thing about politically correct, the appropriate, the inappropriate, but there's a stigma attached. There's more going on.
Right. So being polite demonstrates a certain amount of restraint to show respect for others. Check out these synonyms: well-mannered, civil, courteous, gentlemanly, ladylike, gallant, well brought up, tactful, considerate, thoughtful, discreet. We can be all of these, some or even just one of these synonyms, and still be able to share our thoughts gently.
In a gentle way.
Right. Especially today with the world that's going on, people need to hear truth.
Yeah.
No more sugarcoating anymore. We're so far down the road that we need to start waking other individuals up to what is going on.
Yeah. Sugarcoating, definitely PC.
Right.
So, watch the news. How sugar-coated is it? But I did want to say something about the word gentleman that you brought up. Because when I did years ago classroom meetings with kids, 20 kids, 30 kids in a room, and they're kind of understanding their piggy bank isn't getting filled up. And so, but mine isn't getting filled up either. Yours isn't, theirs isn't. So how do we do that? How can we maintain like a conscious effort to kind of stay in that place of where we are helping each other instead of being mad at each other, and or find that win-win in a way that brings a mutual understanding? And so we came up with, for the gentlemen, for the boys, to be gentlemen, and for the ladies to be ladylike. So if they weren't, they could grasp that easily.
Right.
Anybody can grasp that.
Right.
We can grasp that. We need to grasp that we need to be like gentlemen and like ladies, and in their case, young ladies. It was cute. But anyway, so what are we talking about? How PC touches on touchy subjects.
Right.
Because when we forget to be our gentleman selves and our ladylike selves, it can get touchy. People will begin to just zip their lip instead of sharing their perspective. So is PC destroying freedom of speech, destroying democracy opportunities? Being PC can bring on a parent stigma of feeling judged, and none of us like that. So we fall into the trappings of being mindful about being PC, so nothing's getting done.
Right. So we could be open-minded instead of being offended without judgment. We could learn something, especially from another point of view, another perspective. They might have another paradigm they're trying to share with you. Don't shut them down. Be open to everything, because you might actually learn some. There is a difference between a discussion to learn from instead of a possible argument trying to convince someone, right? We don't want to keep butting heads. As long as we don't see truth, paradigms, and different perspectives as an insult, we can create the new earth.
Got to kind of get the feelings out of the way, the emotions out of the way, and not see it as personal. So if we're aware of being forced into submission, whether it's through shame, guilt, or bullying, and of course it goes both ways. We can be shaming, we can be guilting and bullying. Recognize how you're getting your feelings hurt. And the change is to be an advocate for freedom of speech, and at the same time, not see the truth as an insult. Somewhere in all of that, there's an opportunity for a balance. We got to find the balance.
Excellent. So we'll end on that balanced
Yeah.
note. Good show, Anna.
Yeah.
All right, if you're seeing this video and you're not part of our private Facebook group, then you should check out the tribe. We have over 26,000 plus awakened individuals getting together and growing themselves over in our Facebook Awaken to the Shift group. We encourage you to connect with the many like-minded individuals. Chances are many of your friends and family could use some direction on how to cope with the life challenges they are experiencing too. So be sure to share our webcast with them as well. If you find this webcast valuable, you will also enjoy our other webcasts on how to be your own authority, which is necessary for ascension. Any last words, Anna?
Always create a great day.